So recently, me and a buddy of mine were discussing the World Series. Watching the two best players in their respective leagues, the two undisputed MVPs, we started to wonder if a player could carry a team to a World Series title. This is what we'll be discussing today, as I looked into the last 25 seasons and how each team fared and how each player did to contribute to the team. Before we get into the answer on whether or not a player can carry a team, I want to outline how I looked at each team. I used the statistic WAR, which is wins above replacement, to detail how much a player contributed to their team. I recognize that WAR is an imperfect stat, and I used both BWAR, baseball reference WAR, and FWAR, Fangraphs WAR, to average out the scores and account for one average WAR. I decided to use WAR because it's the most popular statistic among basic baseball fans. I know baseball nerds have more advanced statistics that are better used to determine impact, but I want to make this understandable for a larger audience. Let's get into the results. So first off, we look at the highest single season WARs. So the highest single season WAR ever by a player was 2002 Barry Bonds, followed by 2001 Barry Bonds and 2004 Barry Bonds. Those are not surprising. Barry Bonds had an amazing run in the early 2000s. He may or may not have been, using some extra help. But after that, we have two Aaron Judge seasons. 2024 Aaron Judge comes in with the 11 or 2024 Aaron Judge comes with 11 WAR average, and 2022 Aaron Judge comes with 10.8. After that, we have a couple of Red Sox, Pedro Martinez at 10.55, 2018 Mookie Betts at 10.45, and then 2012 Mike Trout at 10.03 average, 2001 Sammy Sosa at 10.01 average, and Alex Rodriguez in 2000 with a 9.95 average. You may be thinking, that's it. Those are the teams that carried the most. Um, yes and no. I think having the highest WAR it helps, and it measures that like this player did the most to contribute. But some of these guys had great supporting casts. Barry Bonds had Jeff Kent and Jason Schmidt. Judge had Soto. Pedro had Nomar Garcia-Parra and Trout. We'll get into Trout and the Angels later, but bottom line, having the highest WAR does not mean you carried the team the most. Speaking of the supporting cast, here are the second best players on each team. So the 2002 Diamondbacks had the second highest second leading WAR average in Kurt Schilling behind Randy Johnson. 2001 Diamondbacks actually came in second. Luis Gonzalez, 8.4 WAR, came behind Randy Johnson, 9.7. The 2011 Phillies with Cliff Lee having an 8.25 average and Roy Halladay leading with 8.55. The 2004 Cardinals, Albert Pujols at 8.15 average WAR was just behind Scott Rowland at 9.15. 2024 Juan Soto, as we mentioned before, came behind 2024 Aaron Judge, who had 11 WAR. 2000 Troy Glaus, 8 WAR behind Darren Erstad for the Angels. 2011 Dustin Pedroia on the Red Sox was behind Jacoby Ellsbury at an 8.9 WAR. The 2007 Tigers with Magglio Ordonez behind Curtis Granderson. And then the 2011 Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw at a 7.6 WAR behind Matt Kemp who had 8.15 average WAR. A big piece of carrying the team is results. To have a successful carry, you have to be at minimum in the playoffs, and these are the players to get the bare minimum. The guys who carried the team into the playoffs but lost in the wild card round. Um, so for the WAR difference in wild card losers, the 2024 Baltimore Orioles actually had the single highest carry according to the definition. Gunnar Henderson had an 8.55 WAR average. Corbin Burns only had a 3.55, which has a difference of 5. Another Orioles team came in second, 2016, the Baltimore Orioles, with Manny Machado at a 6.5 WAR and Kevin Gausman second at 3.5 WAR with a difference of 3. The 2014 Oakland Athletics came in third with Josh Donaldson at a 6.3 WAR average and Sonny Gray at a 3.35 with a difference of 2.95. The 2016 Mets with Noah Syndergaard having a 6.25 WAR and Asdrubal Cabrera with 3.35 WAR with a difference of 2.9. And then the 2018 Chicago Cubs, Javier Baez with a 6.1 WAR and Ben Zobrist coming in second with a 3.25 WAR, the difference of 2.85. These are the guys, the wild card era has been pretty short, but these are the guys who, lost in the wild card, but they at least got into the playoffs. We'll take it a step further. These are the guys who brought their teams to the divisional round. This means they either went one and done if they won their division and had a successful regular season, or in the wild card era, they may have won a playoff series in the wild card round and then lost in the second round. Either way, these guys had some success, whether it's winning the division or winning a wild card game, but they didn't get too far in the playoffs. Coming in fifth, the 2009 Minnesota Twins. Joe Mauer at an 8.05 WAR. Denard Span having a 3.95 WAR, making a difference of 4.1. The 2004 Atlanta Braves. J.D. Drew had an 8.45 WAR. Andrew Jones had a 4.25 WAR with a difference of 4.2. The 2005 New York Yankees come in third with A-Rod having a 9.25 WAR and Randy Johnson having a 4.85 WAR, a difference of 4.4. Coming in second was this year, the 2024 Kansas City Royals. Bobby Witt Jr. having a 9.9 WAR and Seth Lugo having a 5 WAR, making a difference of 4.9. And then the highest WAR difference in League Division Series losers is the 2004 Los Angeles Dodgers. Adrian Beltre having a 9.65 WAR and Cesar Azerdes with a 3.7, the difference being 5.95. Let's take it a step further. These are the players who won at least one playoff series, making it to the championship series and falling short. Uh, in sixth place, we had a tie, or fifth place, we had a tie between the 2013 Los Angeles Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw having an 8.2 WAR, Zach Greinke having a 5.15, the difference being 3.05. Tie with the 2012 St. Louis Cardinals, Yadier Molina having a 7.35 WAR, and Matt Holliday having a 4.3, difference also being 3.05. The 2012 New York Yankees come in fourth, with Robinson Cano having a 7.85 average WAR and Hiroki Kuroda having a 4.3, making a difference of 3.55. The 2024 Mets come in third, Francisco Lindor carrying the team with a 7.35 WAR, and Mark Vientos coming in second with the 3, having a difference of 4.35 WAR. The second place team is the 2000 Seattle Mariners with A-Rod having a 9.95 WAR and Edgar Martinez having a 5.5, the difference being 4.45. And then for the first place team, we'll get to it later. Um, there's another reason why I'm saving it for later. Now, these are the teams that put their teams, these are the players who put their teams on their back, but just couldn't get across the finish line, uh, making them the World Series runner-ups. The fifth place team, or the fifth place runner-up of a season, is the 2019 Houston Astros. Alex Bregman having an 8.6 WAR, Garrett Cole having a 6.95, the difference being 1.65. The 2024 New York Yankees come in fourth among World Series losers. Aaron Judge having an 11 WAR, Juan Soto having an 8, and a difference of 3. The 2009 Philadelphia Phillies come in third. Chase Utley having an 8.25, Jason Worth having a 4.6, and the difference being 3.65. The 2010 Texas Rangers come in second among World Series losers. Josh Hamilton having an 8.55, CJ Wilson having a 4.5, the difference being 4.05. And the highest difference among World Series runner-ups is that 2002 Giants season, Barry Bonds having a 12.25, Jeff Kent having a 6.9, and a difference of 5.35. And then these are the guys who were able to carry a team to the World Series and win the World Series, bringing, jury back to their home cities. Again, we have a tie for fifth place. The 2015 Kansas City Royals, Lorenzo Cain having a 6.55, Mike Moustakas having a 3.95, a difference of 2.6. The 2006 St. Louis Cardinals are tied for fifth place. Albert Pujols having an 8.3 WAR and Scott Rowland having a 5.7, a difference being 2.6. The 2008 Philadelphia Phillies were the fourth place team. Chase Utley having an 8.6 WAR, Jimmy Rollins only having a 3.35 WAR, a difference being 3.35. The 2012 San Francisco Giants, Buster Posey had an 8.7 WAR, Melky Cabrera had a 4.65 WAR, and the difference being 4.05. The 2018 Boston Red Sox were carried the second most, with Mookie Betts' MVP year and a 10.45 WAR. JD Martinez only having a 6.3. Well, only is not the right word. JD Martinez had a 6.3, but the difference being 4.15 comes in second. And then the team that was carried the most actually happened in 2024 with the Los Angeles Dodgers. Shohei Ohtani's MVP season being a 9.15 average WAR. Mookie Betts having a 4.55, the difference being 4.55. Carrying a team is not about winning the ring, but getting to the finish line is very important. Before we end this video, here's a breakdown on the playoffs and how a single player impacts a team that makes it to the dance. Here's the average difference based on how deep a team makes it into the playoffs. So the average difference in WAR by playoff result, if you are a world or a wild card series loser, typically the difference is a 1.109. If you get to the division series, you can have a player carry a little bit more with a 1.259. The team that loses in the championship series has the highest average difference in WAR with a 1.715. The World Series loser typically has a 1.296 difference in WAR, and the World Series winner usually has a 1.5 difference in WAR. A little side note, I wondered if between two teams, the one who had a team carried more by a single player than another in the World Series, if it helped or hurt their team in the pursuit of a ring. And this is what I found. The World Series based off of WAR difference. World Series where the team with the better WAR difference won. 2005 or 2004, 2005, 2006, 2008, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, and then 2020 and 2024. So there was a stretch about, 8 years or so where the team that was carried more won the World Series. And that makes it 2000, 2001, 2000, 2003, 2007, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2019, 2021, 2022, 2023 as series where the better difference lost, um, where the team that was carried more actually lost the series. So the verdict is there's no real difference in having a single player carrying your team and the effect on the World Series. You can win the World Series when your team's carried, or you can have it a pretty even split and still win the World Series. But now let's get into what the video is really about. Which team was carried the most by a single player? Here is the official list. I'll be counting down. So the 2021 Los Angeles Angels were carried the 10th most by a single player. Shohei Ohtani carried that team with an 8.45 WAR. Jared Walsh was the runner-up at 2.6, a difference of 5.85. That team won 77 games and did not make the playoffs. The ninth place team is the 2001 Chicago Cubs. Sammy Sosa carried that team with a 10.1 WAR. John Lieber with a 4.2 came in second place with a difference of 5.9. And that team had 88 wins and lost in the division series, I believe. The eighth place team is the 2004 Los Angeles Dodgers. Adrian Beltre carried that team with a 9.65 WAR. Caesar as a tourist had 3.7 with a difference of 5.95, and they had 93 wins, lost in division series. We mentioned that team above. 2016, the Los Angeles Angels. Mike Trout carried that team with a 9.6 WAR. Andrelton Simmons came in second with a 3.65, and a difference of 5.95 puts him in seventh place. They had 74 wins and did not make the playoffs. Um, Sixth place, 2013 Los Angeles Angels. Trout again at the top of the 9.5 WAR. CJ Wilson coming in second place this time with a 3.25 and a difference of 6.25. 78 wins and did not make the playoffs. And then the 2015 Angels, Mike Trout led again with the 9.45 WAR. Cole Calhoun came in second, a third different finisher at second place with a 3.15, a difference of 6.3 and 85 wins, and they lost in the division series. Or actually, this team did not make the playoffs. The 2004 Diamondbacks, Randy Johnson carried that team in fourth place. Brandon Webb second in with 2.5 WAR, a difference of 6.35, and they had 51 wins and did not make the playoffs. And now we get into the top three. So the team that was carried the third most was the 2023 Los Angeles Angels. This is the fifth Angels team on this list, and um, surprisingly, none of them made the playoffs. Shohei Ohtani carried that team with a 9.4 WAR. Mike Trout was on and off in the lineup, but still was second place with a 2.9 WAR, a difference of 6.5, and the team had 73 wins. In second place, you have the 2009 Kansas City Royals. Zach Greinke led that team with a 9.55 WAR. David DeJesus coming in second with a 6.65, a difference of or David DeJesus coming in second actually. David DeJesus had a 2.9 WAR and a difference of 6.65. That team had 65 wins and did not make the playoffs. So a big theme here is teams that do not make the playoffs, and having being carried by a single team. So far, only one team has made the playoffs, and that is the 2004 Los Angeles Dodgers with Adrian Beltre and Cesar Izturis. And the team we mentioned earlier, that I get back to, that lost in the championship series, the 2022 New York Yankees. Aaron Judge, with his historical 62 homer season, had a 10.8 WAR. Second place was Nestor Cortez with a 4.05 WAR, making a difference of 6.75. This team had 99 wins, lost in the championship series to the Houston Astros. But it was the team that was carried the most. And the fact that they had some team success, and had a huge difference in WAR makes me believe that Aaron Judge in his 2022 season carried a single team the most. To answer my original question, I think no, you cannot carry a team to a World Series. Even the highest World Series winner difference is this year in 4.55. And that Dodgers team is pretty stacked. It's pretty, it's pretty standard to say that team is not, heavily carried by a single player, despite what Shohei did and the metrics showing that there was such a big difference. Um, thank you guys for listening. Um, and I hope to see you next time in my next video. Peace.